What's going on, y'all? Listen, we are going to be talking some live action Spider-Man characters today. Me and Chili Boy Productions going to be ranking them in honor of Madam Web. Now, y'all, Madam Web, if you want to early review, reaction, head on over to the main channel at Geekly Goods and you'll see all my thoughts about that one. But I won't get too far into that. Let's just say a little rough. But y'all, let me bring in my very special guest at Chili Boy Productions. Larry, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Ooh, Madam Web. Okay. But she's not here. She's not included today. We're getting hyped for Madam Web's release. Talking that Spider-Verse live action. And since No Way Home happened, it includes like everyone. All of them.
Before the stream, Larry was I was about to not include Tom Holland Spider-Man, and Larry was like, no, you gotta include him. You gotta include him. No Way Home. Venom at the end, at the very end of Venom, licking the TV screen with Tom Holland on it. So it's like, okay, we gotta.
Morbius with damn what's his Michael Keaton popping up at the end.
And it feels like still nothing has come of that. So, okay, I'm wondering, is he going to appear at the end of Craven? Like, what are we doing? Like,
I'm telling you, Amy Pascal and Sony have been trying. They are beating Kevin Feige's door down. And he is still like, the best I can do is give you the post-credit sequence. That's it. That's all that your Venom is coming into my universe with. So, chill.
Get your 2 little minutes on screen, if that. We good. Wild, y'all. But hey, if you're joining us, welcome in. We're going to be ranking the live action Spider-Man characters, including the SSU, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, Spider-Man, Sam Raimi, and Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man. We left a couple of characters out, y'all. I'm sorry. Flash didn't make it. I foolishly forgot about Flash. Betty didn't make it, unfortunately, too. So there are a couple characters here and there that we won't see, but don't let's not nitpick and talk about the receptionist from the
Oh,
Amazing Spider-Man or something. Like, the
oh.
lady that was at the science lab. Let's not do all that, y'all. We just going through the major characters from these franchises. So we will get started here momentarily. What's going on, G. Kobe? Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
He was just in the Amazon researching spiders.
Lord.
Are you Madam Web's daddy?
Oh, not daddy.
After Madam Web, keep that door locked, Kevin. What's going on, Tyler?
Ooh, he gonna delete Amy Pascal from his phone, delete her
Please.
email, the whole thing.
Please do. Please, because we do not want it.
We still got 2 more. We still got 2 more from Sony this year, y'all.
2, which is crazy. Like, I was thinking earlier, I was like, oh yeah, we got Craven. Then I was like, shit, Venom 3 as well. What a mess. What's going on, Perp? Good to see you, man. All right, y'all, we're gonna get started off. And this is unfortunately in alphabetical order. I always try to order them a certain way, and they end up like this. So we're starting off with Anne from Venom. And Larry, I'm gonna let you go first. Michelle Williams played Venom's love interest, Anne, in 2 movies. In the first one, she was briefly Lady Venom. How we feel about Anne in this wig?
Ooh, not the wig. Well, the wig is not quite wigging. And Michelle was not quite acting in those films either. If there was ever a sleepwalking performance, it's Michelle Williams in those Venom movies. I mean, she does not want to be there, does not care about it. She said, I'm collecting this superhero paycheck and I'm out, y'all. Goodbye. The character also is just not very interesting. Like, she's the least interesting storyline, really, of both movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put her in D. Like, she's not quite the worst of the worst, but she's pretty bad.
Ooh, starting off hot with bad, man. I was maybe looking at okay. I like the Lady Venom, brief little Lady Venom piece we get, and she gets along with Venom. I kind of like the dynamic of Venom and her getting along. I think that's cool. She doesn't do much though. Like, she basically is just kind of there. So I almost wish that I put a category between C and D that's like not horrible, not too bad, but I'm gonna go a little different. I'm gonna go ahead and put her in okay.
Okay. You
I'm
like
put her in
a
okay.
boyfriend, that little boyfriend in that second one?
Oh, well, that he ain't on this list. We would put him in double F if we could. So now we're at Aunt May, Marissa Tomei, and listen, guys. Great. She's wonderful in all of the Tom Holland movies. I would be just like Iron Man and Happy Hogan, lined up. But nah, her Aunt May is great. No Way Home, especially. I mean, with great power comes great responsibility. That's actually the comic book line. Love that she says that. Such a big loss from Tom Holland's trilogy, and I hated to see Aunt May die. What was great about this Aunt May is she filled in both slots of Aunt May and Uncle Ben. And I love Uncle Ben as a character. Don't get me wrong. He's integral to the Spider-Man lore, but they decided to not give us another Uncle Ben death on screen. So that was like nice to get a little bit of a breather of not having to see poor old Uncle Ben, man, again, man. It hurts. It just absolutely hurts. But I will say I do have a soft spot for Rosemary Harris, and I really do like Sally Fields as well. I think all Aunt Mays, to be honest. A little spoiler alert, y'all. I really like them, but Marissa, I'm going to put her in great.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you just said. One of the nice things about having that kind of be Tom Holland's catalyst, if you will, even though it comes in the third film rather than, at the beginning of his arc. But the nice thing is we get to know her. Like Uncle
Mhm.
Ben, it's a little bit hard. We get to know him somewhat in the films he's in, but he's only there for, part of one movie and then he dies. With her, we get her for almost 3 full movies. So it really kind
Mhm.
of stings that little extra bit when she goes out like that. And she was just kind of like a little bit more of a proactive Aunt May.
Yeah.
They gave her a little bit more to do, particularly in No Way Home specifically. So I love her. I agree. I don't think there's been a bad Aunt May, thankfully. So I'm gonna also put her in the A tier.
Yeah, thankfully, I just don't think we've had a bad Aunt May. They're all great. I mean, even
Yeah.
though I'm not the biggest fan of the Amazing movies, still Sally Fields is a great Aunt May.
Yeah.
So can't complain. But
All
I'm gonna
right.
toss it to you for our OG Aunt May, Rosemary Harris.
The OG Miss Rosemary. Now she looks like the Aunt May we were all used to. She
Yep.
just the character of Aunt May just got progressively younger and hotter as we went along from one Spider-Man to the next. But I guess the Spider-Mans kind of got younger
Yeah.
and debatably hotter as they went along
Ooh.
as well. So there you go. So I guess it fits. It always is kind of weird, isn't it, though? That they have Aunt May, but really it's Grandma May. Like, I mean,
Right. I'm like, she's
that's the
definitely
thing.
older.
Sometimes your aunt or uncle can even be younger than you. So people were losing their minds over Marissa Tomei being so young. It's like, no, 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 no. There's nothing that says she has to be like 70 years old.
Right.
But no, I think she is obviously great and is a big part of the heart of the original trilogy of films. She has some amazing lines and scenes. So I'm also going to put her in A tier.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, the scene in Spider-Man 2 where she's just Doc Ock breaks into the bank and she's
Yeah.
not taking it. She hit him with that umbrella. I was like, man, May ain't messing around, bro. Rosemary Harris, though, like you said, she embodied what we thought of Aunt May,
Mhm.
especially from the comics. They like drew Aunt May like so old, and I'm like, well, ain't he? Her Uncle Ben is his dad's brother. It's like they
Yeah.
should be adjacent. So that was a little bit always a little weird in the Spider-Man comics that Aunt May just looks so old. But Rosemary Harris is great. I'm so glad she's still with us as well. So OG Aunt May, great time on screen as well. And then also when Peter like admits that he could have saved Uncle Ben, that whole breakdown, just wonderful acting by Rosemary Harris. She's great. I'm gonna put her in A tier as well. I mean, I think she deserves to be up in the great category. Got us here. The original OG Aunt May live action. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I get to Sally Fields and I'm like, another great Aunt May. And what I like here is that it almost was like they stair-stepped her screen time where it was like, okay, Rosemary Harris, Aunt May was in it quite a bit, but I feel like Sally Fields was in it even more. And then Marissa Tomei really embodied that adult figure in Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So it was like, okay, we've got a more screen time here with Sally Fields, who just, I mean, she's the mama bear of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man when he's coming home and he's hurt and she's just so concerned. Man, she was like perfect for the role. And I know it's funny because Spider-Man fans were like, wait, why is she so much younger for Sally Fields? So like, okay, as we've progressively gotten younger, it's a complaint every time. Oh, she looks younger this time, blah, blah, blah. But to your point, so does Peter Parker. And I think they're actually almost intentionally doing this at this point. It's like, okay, the younger that Peter Parker looks, we're just going to get a younger Aunt May. And that works for me. But Sally Fields, great Aunt May. I'm putting her in great. There's no Aunt May that I'm just like, nah, she's okay. Like, nah, she's great.
Yeah, I agree. I think she is really good. I mean, obviously, Sally, I don't think I've ever seen her really like phone in a role, to be honest. She always shows up and shows out in her roles, no matter what it is. And I like that too. I like that she was much more proactive in Peter's life by and large in her films. And she has a few just really amazing showcases of her talent as well.
Mhm.
So I agree with you. I don't think we've gotten a bad Aunt May, thankfully. So I'm also put her in A tier.
Yeah, I thought she was a fantastic Aunt May. Ooh, but we got Jacoby here saying Sally Field
Ooh.
was okay. C tier.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
He said, "Get up on out of here, Sally." Not today.
Not him with the Aunt
Ooh.
May, more like MILF May. Ooh.
Well,
Listen, we ain't complaining, okay?
okay.
Rachel Zegler about to be Aunt May in the
Well,
next one. It's just Jack Dylan Glazer, and oh well, they're the same
oh
age. So
Lord,
that
go from love interest to aunt and nephew.
you know what? It'd be Jacob Tremblay as Spider-Man in the
Oh
next
my
one. It's just
gosh.
Rachel Zegler as his aunt.
Ooh.
All right. So next up, we've got Captain Stacy from The Amazing Spider-Man.
Captain Stacy, good old Dennis Leary. I think he's good. I particularly like him more in the second one. He has like a little bit more of a role there, and obviously Gwen Stacy's role in that one as well gets up. I think I'm gonna put him in. Oh, I'm like teetering between B and C because I think he's good. I'm gonna put him in C.
Okay.
Nothing too spectacular or great about him, but he's good.
Because him shooting Lizard, I thought that was cool. Like when he got
Yeah.
to like actually fight with Spider-Man, I thought it was cool that he actually figured out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, like in the comics. I wonder, I was like always in between about him getting on Andrew Spidey about being in Gwen's life and stuff, but it did provide some sort of consequence from all of that. And also had Andrew Spider-Man really spinning in the next one, thinking about should I be in Gwen's life? Maybe I shouldn't. It threw a wrench into things, but I just think the writing in Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not good. So it didn't really do too well with that consequence, but I did like him in the role. I'm gonna go good. I'm gonna go good because I think he provides a good foil character to Peter, but then comes back and helps him in the end of Amazing Spider-Man. I love that. I like their team up against Lizard. That was great. So I got to put him in B. Oh Lord. Now we get to some mess. So Carnage. I'm really glad they ditched the wig from the first Venom because that was a mess.
Oh my word.
I don't know why Woody Harrelson. I'm like, Carnage is not supposed to be an older guy. No offense to Woody, but it just felt kind of weird throwing him in the like palm tree shirt, the old tropical shirt he was in. It just felt like Uncle was gonna be Carnage, and it just didn't work for me with that character. A little goofy, a little too over the top. I didn't hate the Carnage design, but look at the way this picture looks, y'all. It's lit terribly. Just like in the first Venom. It's like, okay, these Venom monsters are horribly lit. The symbiotes are horribly lit. So I would love to put Carnage a lot higher, integral Spider-Man villain, but they wasted him in Venom 2 in like a 80-minute bullshit fest with him and Shriek. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could say higher, but I'm going bad.
Ooh.
Crap. Mine was good though.
Carnage. I agree. The design was so cool. Like, and a lot of that art, the like gooey poster art, I kind of liked it. I know people hate the goo, but the poster art looked cool to me. Yeah, I don't know why Woody Harrelson was cast as this role. And he was having fun, it seemed, but yeah, he's D tier. It was not good. God, Carnage was just, the whole movie was terrible, and his character particularly was just a big letdown. There was so much you could have done and so much coolness to be had, and they just failed.
And it was like he was having fun, but I wasn't. And it was just
exactly.
like, all right, well, cool, Woody. I'm happy for you, but you're not a Cletus Cassidy type. Like you're not young.
Yeah.
Even if you could even make it the same, somebody who's the same age as Tom Hardy, but to make him like much older, it just felt like
his father's age.
Right. Grandpa's playing Carnage.
Oop.
Weird, man.
Busting out of the retirement home to cause some carnage. Lord, that should have been the tagline for the movie. What?
Busting out of the retirement home.
It's too
I
much.
can't. Look, Tyler, old Grandpa Carnage.
Right?
Yeah, he old.
Ugh.
Madam Web is #1 already. I can feel it. I would go ahead and lower those expectations, Eric Thorpe. Just dial them expectations down a little bit.
Mm.
Woody Harrelson tried to do his performance from Natural Born Killers. Ooh, but not good. Oh man. G. Kobe with the stingers tonight. I love it.
We're all on that D tier though.
Oh, what's going on? Laser, Venom, Let There Be Garbage. Oh, wait, disagree, my friend.
Listen, I'm not mad at it.
All right, Larry, you get a good one here next with Alfred Molina, Doc Ock.
All right, so we got two films for him now.
Yep.
Between No Way Home and obviously Spider-Man 2. He has probably the most iconic battle in at least that OG trilogy, possibly the entire live action Spider-Verse period, with that like train sequence and him. So good. He also is just such a complex character. It's such a character, but so much depth to him. Even in No Way Home, having him be the first one to kind of turn, I thought was a really good idea for them to do, just from where his character comes from. So, and Alfred Molina just kills it in the role. He's so good. I know he's always talking about he needs money, so he takes a role, but he puts in the work. So, you know, he don't show up just to take the money, and it really shows here. I think it's hard. It's like a tie for my favorite of Spider-Man villain, but he's part of the tie. So I gotta go S tier. I mean, he's an S tier villain.
Yeah, it's like, could you go any lower? I mean, he's just fantastic. And part of what makes Spider-Man 2 so great is this character, this humanized villain who starts at a place where Peter Parker wants to be. A mentor-like character to him that makes the shifts with the arms. And like you said, it was a great idea to bring him back first, because I mean, realistically, without the influence of the arms, he would be a mentor-like figure to Peter. So that was great on No Way Home's part to bring him in. But yeah, Molina, he's having fun in this role. The Rosie meme is amazing. He is just having a ball on both fronts as Otto Octavius and Dr. Octopus. He's just doing fantastic work. And at the beginning, like, especially when you were younger and watched this the first time, you're like, man, I like this guy. I like Otto Octavius. You like him. He's very likable. And once we get to the end and he's got the power of the sun in the palm of his hand, you want him to be saved. You you have a soft spot for Dr. Octopus. So I really love this character. I think in all the Spider-Man, I got a tie as well. And we'll get to my tie soon. I think yours too. But yeah, it's like he just ate in No Way Home, ate in Spider-Man 2. That train sequence, one of the best superhero action sequences ever, in my opinion. So good. Absolute S tier. Our first S tier, y'all.
All right.
And then here we are. Okay, so Jamie Foxx Electro. I actually liked his design in No Way Home. So he's in 2 movies now. No Way Home design, really cool. I like the yellow lightning. That was cool. This goofiness, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm sorry. Look, I was like, Megamind, is that you? The stumbling and stuttering that his character had going on. I just was like, man, come on, man. I was not a fan of this character until we brought him into No Way Home. Then he talked about Black Spider-Man and shit like that. I like that. I was like, okay, Jamie Foxx got to be Jamie Foxx in No Way Home. So I was like, okay, I'm glad we let Electro be Jamie Foxx. if they didn't bring him back in No Way Home, he would easily be in the D tier for me. I'm gonna put him in okay.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he was fun in No Way Home as well. He has a lot of fun lines, and like you said, they just let Jamie actually like be his charming, funny self in No Way Home,
Mhm.
and it worked to much greater effect. Also, he was like OP as hell. Actually, in both movies, he was like OP as hell as a
Yeah.
character. But he was great there. I know a lot of people don't like that electronic score. I really liked his score in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I like that electronic music. I thought it was cool and fun. The design, no. And his origin story, no. Really, I mean, the writing for his character was not great. The way his character's defeated, I think, is really stupid as well. I don't like that
Yeah.
either. Yeah. I'm gonna go C tier as well. He's not the worst, but he's not good.
Oh, Jacoby called him the reject Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Oh, bald-headed ass. When he told Andrew Garfield he ain't even the shit no more. No Way Home. They was cooking Andrew's ass.
Listen.
I was like, damn.
Okay.
Spider-Man number 2, that you ain't the shit no more. I'm like, oh,
Ooh.
y'all cooking his ass.
They fixed that electric eel bat was too much. Like falling into that. Oh, please. Oh, terrible.
I was like, we really gonna go with the fall into a toxic waste? Come on, man. Goofy. Speaking of Goofy, I think the reason why he was so bad is this next character.
All right, so Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin. Why? I really feel The Amazing Spider-Man 2 definitely got the Spider-Man 3 treatment from Sony. Out of nowhere, they just, I don't know why they didn't want to wait for a third movie in the trilogy to do some of these ideas. They plugged in. So it's goddamn Paul Giamatti's goofy head ass on this ranking. Because listen, talk about useless ass villains. Let me just tell you, that Rhino is beneath F. If there's another category down there, oh my God, horrible. I mean, good on you for redeeming yourself and possibly winning an Oscar, because that damn Rhino was the goofiest shit I've seen in a minute. But back to the other bad villains of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. All of a sudden, we have this heel turn. Like this really, they have to do this pretty dramatic move to get to this point with Dane DeHaan's character, to get him to be Green Goblin. His character design is what the hell is that? Like, it is weird and there you go, herpes. Herpes Green Goblin, exactly. The writing wasn't there. Dane DeHaan's performance was not there either, particularly as like trying to build this connection with Peter Parker. It did not work at all.
So bad.
Their friendship was not believable really at all. So it made their turn kind of like, who cares? Yeah, I wish they would have left him out and just further better developed Electro. He's going in D tier for me. I just don't care. I wish they would have cut him out of the movie.
Yeah, and you already have Defoe. Like that, for me, it's like, okay, you already have one great Green Goblin. And that's why Lizard was effective a little bit, because it was like, okay, we're getting a different villain. We're not going to be borrowing. But then you bring in Dane DeHaan, and it's like, guys, did you watch Spider-Man? Like, there's no way he's going to top Willem Dafoe. So that right there, already out the gate, he's
Dane DeHaan has an F tier. I mean,
you know where I'm going, because I'm looking at this terrible, and I'm like, that looks like the spot for me. Him and Andrew Garfield have no chemistry whatsoever.
It's bad.
The turn of that character is just so quick, so drastic. Oh, he wouldn't give him his spider venom, which I was like, that's weird and all that. Like, he wants his blood to heal, and go get Spider-Man so I can get his blood and heal up. I was like, this is just weird. We did not need to do this. And Harry Osborn is Hobgoblin.
Oops.
So that's an issue in itself. And I just hate that design. Hate it. We have them side by side, and it's like, okay, one is from what, almost 10 years prior, and it looks way better in my opinion.
Way better.
Horrible design. They tried to give it like a more organic, realistic like feel, and it doesn't work.
No.
I don't like it. Old vampire Green Goblin going in F, terrible for me. Like you, I think Electro should have just been the villain of the movie. Like, just make Electro the villain. Then we can develop that character more. We can give him a better story than being the sad sack that got turned into a villain.
And yeah, why wasn't Harry in the first one? Like, we're doing all this and we're doing a full character heel turn from bestie that we've never heard of to villain in one single movie. Like, again, they tried to do from the OG one. No, that one had time to breathe. It had time for an impact. And this was just a mess. I don't know.
And we didn't even get Norman. Like, it just is weird to like shoehorn in Harry and be like, oh, hey, buddy, like, good to see you. And you're like, if I've never watched the Raimi movies, I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah,
like, I mean, would have no idea. So just a weird shoehorning in of this character. Just like arguably Spider-Man 3, making Harry Hobgoblin. Like, why? Like, just goofy. You're a fraud, Spider-Man.
Oh my God.
That arguably is the start of the goofiness with these Sony Spider-Man movies. Like, goofy. All right. So earlier I mentioned a tie for my favorite villain.
Ooh.
Here is the tiebreaker right here. Green Goblin, phenomenal. I mean, Willem Dafoe, just an amazing performance. In my opinion, Oscar worthy. I don't give a fuck. Y'all tell me what you want. I thought him playing that duality back and forth in the first one and recently in No Way Home, phenomenal. I mean, this man's acting and talking to himself in the mirror and just making us feel fear. And what was so cool about Green Goblin is you could tell Raimi was really putting in horror elements into these movies. Like, I love that he made Green Goblin feel like this evil, creepy villain, and it just made you have chills when he would make that turn. And Dafoe's like facial acting was phenomenal. I mean, just him being able to be scared and intimidated when he was Norman, but then when he's the Green Goblin, he's this evil, malicious character. Phenomenal. And to bring him back and make him the villain of No Way Home, I thought was great. I mean, I was like, listen, I'm cool with that. I know some people were like, oh, I want a different villain. I'm cool with that. We brought back one of Spidey's classic villains from the live action movies and made him the guy.
Yeah.
Loved it. And they did the night that Gwen Stacy died with him, but I mean, it was MJ saved her, but still, I thought that was a cool addition from the comics.
Yeah.
Phenomenal character. Oh, and Dane DeHaan down there was horrible. But phenomenal character. Iconic villain, iconic comic book movie, period villain. Absolute S tier. There's nowhere else I could put him.
Yeah, I mean, killed it. He's amazing. In that first film, the performance is so good. The design is so cool as well. And he's this, again, you almost have sympathy for him as well, because of what his character kind of is to begin. But he just, Dafoe just spirals into like this amazing, chaotic character so well. And then we get him back in No Way Home. And once again, you kind of like, you want to feel sorry for him. And I'm so glad they had him like be the ultimate villain of the film. Because once again, Dafoe is just so good. He is eating it up. He's having a good time. Puts in an amazingly physical performance. Like this man, how old is Willem Dafoe now? He's getting up there, and he was throwing down as Green Goblin doing his stunts. I love that hallway fight scene between him and Peter Parker in No Way Home. It's so good. Savage, and again, Dafoe just deranged, being amazing. He's just, I mean, he's amazing. So yeah, you're right. It's just S tier. It's him and Doc Ock, the first two OG Raimi Spider-Mans. the a big part of why they are as amazing as they are is because they have the two best villains in the entire
Yeah.
live action verse, if you will.
And I think that was such a great move to bring him back because John Watts said that the MCU Spider-Man trilogy is like an origin. So it's like, okay, you launch Tom Holland Spider-Man into being a more serious Spider-Man with a malicious, evil villain. Not that we'll get to Vulture a little later because he was acting up. But I mean, it's like you take this villain that Tom Holland Spider-Man has never really had to deal with before. And nothing against Jake Gyllenhaal, like Mysterio is awesome, but he's goofy. Like he's just like, yeah, I'm a VFX artist.
Yeah.
This dude is like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
He killed his aunt. Just crazy, man. Made Tom Holland Spider-Man be out for blood, y'all. And this is Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark.
Oh, so...
Stop. I mean, this innocence, it was robbed from him in that movie. And I love Dafoe's presence in it. So good. G. Kobe giving us the facts here.
Right, 68.
68. And he killed it in that role.
He killed it. So he would have been like, what, 62, 60, or 64 maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he was down with it.
Down with it. And when he was like at the shelter and he was just like had that like sad face, you're kind of like you were saying, it's like, oh man, I want you to be good, man. I want you to be good. And I'm glad in the end they cured him. I thought that was really cool to cure all the villains. That was awesome. Avenge me. We didn't even mention that. Like, he pops up in like 2, kind of has that influence on Harry. Love that, man. Love that. All right. First Gwen Stacy.
Back. Okay, Bryce. She looks good. She's beautiful. Beautiful gowns. Bryce Dallas Howard. She looks good as a blonde too. Just because, I mean, what did we really get? I'm gonna put her right in the middle. I'll put her as like C. Because I don't think she had the time to be bad. But she also didn't have time to be good either. So she was just there.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, she's just kind of in and out. I was like, do I add her? But I'm like, well, if I'm going to add Emma Stone, Gwen Stacy, I might as well add Howard. But she barely has screen time. For the screen time she's in, she's all right. She's nice. She's cute. You know, she just served as like, in this trilogy, she served as the cute girl to make MJ jealous. So didn't really have a huge role. So unfortunate, but going with okay.
Yeah, she fine.
Now we're going to the obvious better choice of Gwen Stacy. Emma Stone, fantastic. I mean, I thought her and Andrew's chemistry and relationship is what makes the Amazing Spider-Man movies good. And especially the first one. I've been rewatching the Amazing Spider-Man, y'all. That first one is good. And the two of them, their chemistry and their romance. I mean, they were dating at the time too, so it just made it so believable. Sorry, Shamik Moore, but all the Spider-Man couples have dated.
And you ain't got a shot. Haley Steinfeld has made it unfortunately, blatantly, obviously clear that won't be happening for the animated.
Well, y'all remember the press tours when homie was shooting his shot and she had quite the face expressions with that. But Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. I mean, I know y'all gonna cook me here. My favorite love interest is Zendaya, but I really do like Emma Stone. She's a very, 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 very close second, but she's great. What's nice is that we get to see this more of a dynamic. Well, I can't say more than Kirsten Dunst. She had a big role too, but we just get to see like a romance that feels stronger, in my opinion, and it just was more believable. And especially at 2, when they're like full on dating, it's like, okay, yeah, y'all two get a room, y'all. Yeah, her Gwen Stacy was great. She was strong, upstanding, best in the lab. Like, she was great, a fantastic character all the way to the end, supporting Spider-Man, supporting Peter. Fantastic character, man. I'm going with the name.
Yeah, I think their relationship and Gwen Stacy, maybe particularly even, are the best part about the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Their chemistry and that romance is really what keeps that movie up from just being a complete dumpster fire. And obviously her death is like, it's horrible. So even in these movies that you're kind of annoyed, you're watching this second one and you're like, this is a goofy. The fact that her death scene is like still as emotionally resonant as it is, I think is just a testament to her performance with the
Mhm.
character and the relationship they built with them as well. I did also like her in the first one, and yeah, I agree. I think she's I don't want to say the best part about it because I do like Andrew Garfield a lot as well, but I'm gonna put her in an A tier as well. I think she's really good.
Yeah, she's really, really good, and I think she has a lot of presence too. It's like when
Yeah.
you see her for the first time, it's just like, oh, like you kind of get the butterflies a little bit too. I mean, she's cute, but it's also
Ooh,
just because it's like, oh, like you can feel that Peter is so strongly attracted to her.
yeah,
I think they really nailed the romance like incredibly in both films.
yeah.
G Kobe with the hot take. Gwen Stacy a D tier?
Ooh,
Dang, bland and underwritten, annoying and stupid and task too. Oh no.
he says, "See, keep that to the CW."
Laser
Damn.
calling you out, G Kobe, saying that the poor things thought you loved you some Emma.
Okay.
Listen, I think Emma Stone had a lot of charm in the role. She
Yeah.
had she was good on screen. I thought she was good, even though the character is like kind of already a prodigy, already a genius. That's how Gwen Stacy is. Like she's like the straight A student, the
Yeah.
achiever. Like she is that character. So I was okay getting straight to that. All right, now we get into a problematic actor, but the other Harry Osborn here.
Yeah. Oh, not and when she's pretending to be Asian. Kobe!
Uh-oh!
Oh, okay. Listen,
Irish shots.
okay, good old Harry Osborn. I think he's really good for the most part in these movies. I do think his turn in the third one a little bit goofy. It gets a little bit goofy.
Yeah.
But again, like we said, we had time with him. Like
Mhm.
we got to develop this relationship, this friendship between the characters. I think Franco is good in the role as well. Um, yeah, I liked him overall. I think he's a really strong character, particularly up until his turn in that third one. I think he acts it well. It's just
Mhm.
the writing lets him down a little bit
Yeah.
in the turn itself. So I'm gonna put his hair. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. I'm gonna put him in a B tier. Put my first B up here.
Yeah, because I think there are some scenes where it's just like, okay, this character is a little overly goofy.
Yeah.
Like, especially in that third one where it's just like, I'm gonna get you, Spider-Man. Like, I'm like, are you Jay Jonah now? I don't know, man. And I don't know when he finds out Peter is Spider-Man, I kind of liked him, like not liking him after that point. It's like he came back around, and I was like, well, that
Yeah.
could have been the Spider-Man 4 villain if you wanted to go that route, but
Yeah.
whatever. It is kind of goofy when he just changes, and I don't know why they wouldn't just like have him be in the Goblin suit. Like I don't know. I was just kind of
Yeah.
like, just give him a different color, I guess, or something. Give
Ooh.
him like a suit or something. But he's just flying around with a sweatshirt on, with goggles and shit. It's like okay.
Not the
This is
sweatshirt.
really goofy. He got the flyer. So I was just like, I don't know, like they could have, had him reuse the suit and like build his own or something. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, you've got Defoe's iconic suit in the first one, and then you've got stripped down Harry over here. It was just weird.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, a great foil to Spider-Man. And it made those scenes so awkward when he didn't know Peter was Spider-Man, because the more he was just like becoming more and more vengeful against
Yeah.
Spider-Man, it just gets so awkward, and the tension is styled all the way up in those scenes. So he does a great job with the material. I think I'm gonna go B as well. He's a good character,
Right.
good Spider-Man foil, but damn, 3 did him dirty.
Ooh.
Dirty. All right. All right. We got one of the most iconic comic book movie performances, casts ever in J. Jonah Jameson. J.K. Simmons eats this role up. And if we talk about a character that is straight from the comics in a good way, J. Jonah Jameson is that, man. The fast talking, the cigars. I'm going to get you, Spider-Man, publishing and making Spider-Man just look horrible on these newspapers. He's phenomenal. I mean, absolutely iconic performance. He comes back and plays it in the Tom Holland trilogy because you cannot recast this character.
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal. The memes, the quotes, the lines. He's amazing. Literally. I mean, he's one of the best. I got to put him in S. I got to put him in S tier.
Yeah, it's hard. This is one of those, and it's like he's not like a main character. It's not like the Iron Mans or Thors that people are like, how do you recast them? It's not like this main superhero. To think that it's like a supporting character in these movies that is just so perfect that you're like, there's no recast. Like, there's who you're gonna get to follow what J.K. Simmons does as the character? No one. Like, it can't be done. So no, he's perfect. And then I love that they put him in front of that damn like green screen in the Tom Holland movie. God, like, it just is so it's so good. He keeps the same energy. I mean, he's an S tier. There's nowhere else to put J. Jonah here. He's got to be S.
When I saw No Way Home, the loudest like, oh my God, was like that post credit with him coming up. And it's just like, holy shit, like he's back to bring it back. And then in No Way, or I mean, Far From Home is what I meant. But in No Way Home, when he's just like right outside the building trying to get all the footage, I'm like, this is J. Jonah Jameson. Like, perfect. Just like Tyler says, so good at J. Jonah, they just let him keep playing it.
Right?
just bring him back in. J. Jonah and S tier, the GOAT. Okay, yeah. G. Kobe, I'm glad you didn't have a hot take on that one. I'd be like, no, hold on now.
Okay. Did you watch Whiplash? Don't make him pull that out on you.
You don't want him doing the Whiplash.
Oh, shit.
All right, Larry with Lizard.
So Lizard, it's so the worst part about him is just that his his end game is goofy. Like him wanting to just turn everybody into a motherfucking lizard. Like, what? It's just
it's goofy.
It's a goofy idea to end on, but as a character, I really enjoy him. Actually, I really enjoy that. Unlike the Amazing Spider-Man 2, we take the whole movie, all we do is focus on the Lizard and his relationship with Peter Parker. Obviously, that mentorship. See, it works so much better when Peter gets to like have this great mentee relationship with the villain in these movies, and then they turn out to be a crazy person scientist by the end. And it works well. I thought his design looked pretty cool, as cool as you can make a character like the Lizard look in live action, I think. I wish they gave him a little bit more to do in No Way Home. He's really sidelined in that movie. They just kind of like have him over there. It's kind of just a joke. Him and Sandman pretty much get nothing to do in No Way Home. And you stand with him specifically because what's he gonna do? You got like
oh, you're good.
Oh, sorry. I was like, did I freeze? Shit, my bad. Yeah, because you're kind of like, what are you gonna do? Like, you got a man sitting here like electrocuting out of this tower. I guess like Statue of Liberty, and you got a lizard running around here. Like, this lizard man just running around. Okay, sure. But no, I think he's good overall. So I'm gonna put him in B tier as well. He's definitely the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy villain that we got, the best portrayal overall, and yeah, I'm gonna put him in B.
Yeah, you're right. When it comes to like the mentor-mentee relationship, they do those well because it was kind of like, okay, Doc Ock, walked so Lizard can run. So like
Yeah.
it worked, bringing him in, and him and Andrew Garfield have great chemistry together. Like you could just see how much he like idolizes him and wants to be him, and it's so cool to see that turn later on. But like you said, it gets really goofy with the motive. I kind of thought the Amazing Spider-Man 1 look was a little goofy. I thought they improved it in No Way Home, but that first one, I was like, what? We got Laser saying, "Oh no, now it's Rex from Toy Story with his little arms." Yeah, I thought it was like we were on a really, really good streak with this character until we get to the like morphing, and then it's like, we just got a little, ha ha ha, I'm gonna take over the world, and that's not really a great motive. So, but it is Reese Ifans, and he does a great performance.
He kills it.
Oh, fuck. This is one of those where I'm like,
Yeah.
if there was one in between B and C, he would go right there for me. I can't put him in okay. I cannot put him next to Electro. I'm gonna just have to put him in good.
Not Goomba from the live action Mario.
Uh-oh. I mean, he looked goofy, man. Goofy. But Reese Ifans is good. But like you were saying, in No Way Home, he just is kind of there. Like it's just kind of like, oh, he gets like a chuckle out of us and when he's in Cage. And then he's just like not really on screen much.
They couldn't like put him in the real fight, so he goes after MJ and Ned. You know,
right?
Like he over there trying to terrorize their asses because what's he gonna do in the real fight?
It's like you got Electric Dude, you got this dude on a glider with pumpkin bombs who's a nut. You've got a sand guy
creating this big ass storm of sand, and then the lizard.
And a lizard running around. He ain't gonna do shit. He gonna get kicked in the face by one of the Spideys. Okay,
Harpo, who this woman?
So for this one, I'm gonna have to look up the name of this character.
Is this the Morbius
Martine.
woman?
Yeah, Martine and Morbius. I had to look it up, y'all, because I was like, what the fuck is her name? Yeah, she's just kind of there.
She looks
like
good.
Literally, Adria Arjona, you're beautiful.
Beautiful.
But goodness gracious, the role she's in, man, are so bad most of the time. Now, I heard she's great in Hitman with Glenn Powell, so we'll wait and see.
Thank God.
Hitman, because I think she has acting chops. Like every time I see her, I'm like, I feel like she's got chops. Oh, here go Tyler with the not this random woman. I had to look her name up. I was like, what's her name again?
I had to focus in. I said, who the hell am I looking at? Who is this woman? Okay.
Adria Arjona, bless you. But man, please get a better agent. Sounds like Hitman was a hit. So hopefully, once that comes to Netflix, hopefully we get some better roles for you. But she
got pigeonholed like Isaac Gonzalez. Like they both kind of give me similar vibes, and both of them are just always given the same terrible role.
And she's just, and what's unfortunate, she's just the damsel in distress here. That's literally all she plays. F. I mean, I can't even put her next to Cletus Cassidy, y'all, because she just. Sorry, Adria.
Shit. Yeah, she. Beautiful gowns. Yeah. What did she do? Like, what's the point of this woman? Like, what? F. It's giving nothing. Like, her performance gave me nothing. The character gave me nothing. F.
If I'm being real with you, if I didn't put her on this list, I would have forgot she was in the damn movie.
And she's supposed to be like one of our leads.
Yeah.
Shit.
You got MJ's here, you got Gwen Stacy here, and then you got Martine.
Oh, Martine.
What the fuck is that goofy name, man? But whatever. Martine, like she's
like somebody's abuela. Like I can't. Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, she is good in Andor. I still haven't finished Andor, but she is good in Andor. She's good in that. So she's on a good streak, y'all. Andor and then Hitman. Okay.
Now who this? Is this Matt Smith?
Yeah.
Is this old Damon Targaryen?
But he was Milo in
not
Morbius.
That motherfucking Milo. They had some goofy names in this goddamn Morbius.
Milo. I'm like, this is somebody's dog or some shit.
Milo. Listen. Well, he had my favorite scene in the entire film. So we have that. That little dancing scene is the type of energy the whole ass film should have been.
Should have
me. Should have just went for it. Like balls to the ball buffoonery, like that damn dancing scene with Matt Smith.
Have sex. I was like, what is this song even?
Listen, Matt Smith just went ham. They went over the top with his performance. Thankfully, he had Damon Targaryen to kind of, get the nerds back on his side. He did not even want to acknowledge or remember a goddamn Morbius at that Hot D panel at Comic-Con. He said, "Who? I don't know about no damn Morbius. What? What's that?
What?
No, I was in what movie? I don't think so. Shit, he did not acknowledge that mess at all in that dragon panel. But we love Damon. We love his portrayal over there. We love him as the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Shit, what am I about to make myself look crazy? Let's put him in C tier for that dance. Let's put him in C.
Oh my goodness.
Let's put Milo and Otis up in the C tier. Look,
oh my god.
I don't even remember.
C tier for that dance.
Is Milo or Otis the pug or the cat? Have you seen that movie, Leo? Do you remember that movie with that little pug and the little cat, Milo and Otis?
I think I know what you're talking about, but I ain't seen it.
Well, it got bad raps afterward because apparently we didn't have our animal cruelty laws in place on movies, and some shady business went down on that Milo and Otis to create that little movie. But they were cute. But yeah, the dance gets you up to C tier. That's the only, pretty much, literally the only redeemable thing about Morbius to me. So C tier.
It's like iconic. For how goofy it is. Like, it's just so goofy, bro. Like, it's hilarious, man.
See, Tyler knows Otis is the pug.
Is that where they be talking and stuff? I know I've seen it.
Yeah. I even own it for like, let me see.
Got us an Otis cameo.
Shit, I knew I had it somewhere, but apparently not here. Damn.
Well, listen, Milo, thank you for giving us the energy that Morbius should have been the entire fucking way. Just be goofy. Like, I don't understand why they try to make these movies so serious and so make it fucking goofy. Just at that point, make it goofy. When he just dancing like this and shit. And yeah, like at Comic-Con, that guy walks up and he just like, yeah, do you know that about that iconic
that Morbin time? What you think about Morbin time?
It's Morbin time.
He said, the fuck you talking about Morbin time?
For me, bad. I mean, the only thing that keeps him out of terrible is that dance.
He said, for me, bad. I don't give a fuck about a Milo.
Milo, sit your ass down in that bad category.
Shit.
Kirsten Dunst.
Okay.
Sorry that I got the kind of provocative photo, y'all. I got the little soaked in the rain here, but it was the only one I could find in this size. So here we are. Listen, hot takes. This MJ get on my nerves, man. I'm gonna be real with you. All that mad at Peter all the time, and all that just being mean to Spider-Man, and it's understandable. You know, he's unfortunately has more responsibilities than she knows. But man, all that getting mad at Peter all the time. And I'm just like, oof. And I'm sorry, in the first Spider-Man, they're good together. They really are. But when you bring along Gwen Stacy and Peter in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I'm like, well, That's some chemistry right there. Sorry, Kirsten, and yeah, I'm gonna get cooked in the Spider-Man fandom. Going with a C.
Oh, he says C. Oh, whoo.
Sorry. How you feeling, Larry?
I do find her a little bit annoying, and I like Kirsten Dunst as an actress. I think she's gotten better.
But in this,
it's given a little bit stiff. She has that
Yeah.
little turning around meme for a reason, because it's a little bit cringe. Some parts of her performance, but she gave us that iconic, upside down kiss in the rain.
Iconic.
She gave us a couple other great moments as well. But I have to agree with you. I think Emma Stone as Gwen is a better, she's actually the weakest of the 3 live action. And she gets, well, maybe not the most screen time, but she gets a lot of screen time in those OG Spider-Man trilogy.
And she be on the screen, I'd be like, oh.
But I think she has enough redeemable. So I'm gonna put her on the same tier. I think. Well, no, I don't remember. What did I put Gwen as, A or B tier? A. Yeah, no, she's not getting A. She B tier, solid B tier. I think she has good enough moments to put her in B tier. But yeah, if I put Harry in B, I gotta put MJ in B.
And
so
how many damn times she ran away from a fucking wedding and all that? I'm like, man, she got all these boyfriends throughout all this franchise. I'm like, dude, I'm sick of this shit. Oh, G. Kobe said she for them streets.
Not for the street.
Oh man,
he said she done had too many damn boyfriends and she in them streets.
I mean, it was like Spider-Man 1, she running out the wedding. Spider-Man 2, she got a man who came to the play on time.
Oh, not Tyler with the red flag.
She ran away from her wedding to another man.
Listen, I mean, nah, this MJ low-key is a mess. Like, she is annoying. Like, we just gotta call it what it is. But
and listen, I know Raimi was doing his own thing. I understand. But man, the way he changed MJ from the comics, she's like spicy in the comics, and she's like confident, and she's like a whole new world for Peter Parker. She's sexy, and it's just like in the fucking movie, she's a nerd. Fuck.
All right, well, now we got the other MJ, not the same. She got her own initials up in here.
Yeah.
No, same initials, but she got her own name. No Mary Jane bullish over her. No, I love MJ in Tom Holland's ability. She's funny. She is that sarcastic type of character that I usually always love out here doing her detective work. Like, what is wrong with this boy? Like, what is he doing? Like, always creeping and crawling in the damn shadows, investigating what's going on with this man. I'm so glad that she took over as the main love interest of Tom Holland's trilogy. Like that first movie, she was cute.
Shit, I forgot Laura.
Laura was cute and pleasant and all that in that first movie, but we were all like, how about Mary Jane in the back though?
Right.
How about MJ in the back over there in the corner? She's much more interesting. So I'm gonna put her in A tier. I feel like she definitely gets better as we go along. Homecoming, she's not given a lot to do. I feel like even in Far From Home, she's definitely given more to do, but I wanted even more.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because like in those first two, well, I guess Amazing Spider-Man is not a trilogy. It's just a set of films. Oops. From the OG trilogy, and then that last couple little films starring Andrew Garfield, they were just so prevalent in that. The love interest was so prevalent that it felt like MJ has never, even in No Way Home, that's when she's finally kind of given the screen time she deserved, because I was wanting more MJ in those first two movies, and that's maybe what keeps her out of S tier, but her characterization is definitely enough for A tier through and through.
Yeah, and like she just barely gets screen time in Homecoming, but even that little glimpse, you're like, yes, I like that. I like the sarcasm. I like the spice. I love it. And then in the second one, the fact that she like figured out that he was Spider-Man, it's like, yeah, like it's obvious that this kid is Spider-Man. I love that it's like, like he's trying to tell her like he likes her and stuff, and she's like, oh, you're Spider-Man? Oh, yeah, I already knew that. Like,
Yeah.
awesome, perfect. The sarcastic energy is great. Zendaya is great throughout the trilogy. I think you're right. She's just not in it enough, especially in Homecoming. It's because of Laura starts out and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, she's like the pretty one. But like MJ's smart, she's sarcastic, she's pretty. She's like the whole package, really. She's like she's good for Peter. It's like she's the better one for Peter. Whereas Laura, I mean, her dad,
Ooh.
motherfucking
And not them trying to make Zendaya look relatable. Not
yeah,
them being
right.
like, not them being like, how can we make this like goddess of a woman look like an average person?
Because she's gorgeous, but yeah, they kind of, you know,
They're
got
like,
her
all
in the
right,
shirt, the big shirts and stuff, and the hair tied back. But I mean, she still was cute to me. I was like,
right. I mean, they said we don't want to go crazy like girl in that damn what's it called on HBO? What's the show where she's like basically a little lion crack addict?
Euphoria.
Euphoria. Where Zendaya running around here messy as hell. We don't want to go that far, but we gotta still make,
but kind of, you know, normalize her. Yeah, you're right.
Make her a regular person.
And that worked in the first one to like tuck her in the background, you know, kind of build up the mystique around this character. But she's fantastic. I mean, to me, my favorite love interest of the three. And I know for most, Emma Stone would be their favorite, but for me, she just knocks her out a little bit more for the sake of her personality. Whenever she was on screen, she's just great.
And again, they could play. He's over here talking about Tom Dyer in here too, because they played coy. They tried to be like, oh, you know, maybe. Nah, bitch, we knew. We been knew. Like, we knew about you, Tom and Zendaya. We knew.
Stop and it. You know what? We got G. Kobe in the comments. Yeah, we do love Tom Daya. They're great together. And there's always a rumor that surfaces like, oh, they're breaking up. And then I love that one of them just comes out and is like, no, we're still together. We just
their chemistry was like so fire, even on the damn press tours. I mean, Tom just had to speak, and Zendaya was out here cracking up like it was the funniest ish that she ever.
She was like giggly and giddy and shit.
Like, okay, and then Tom just staring at her like Tom would just be googly eyed up on that press tour. No, they're cute together. So I mean, if somebody's gonna have him that isn't me, I guess it can be hers. Okay, Z, I guess. Look, you know what? That's why she can't be in S tier. Okay, let me just keep it real. You can't come up in here and steal Tom from me and get S tier, but A tier it is. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Because of that, I'm putting her in S. Bumping her up. We're gonna put this MJ in S tier.
Leo said, you know what? She gotta get bumped for that.
Because listen, I mean, I'm gonna say this too. Most attractive love interest as well. So
the Emma fans really gonna be hot under the collar. Listen, have you seen her on this damn Dune red carpet? I mean, come on. Come
on now. I mean, I'm just like, if this is the only Zendaya you've seen, it's just her as MJ, and you gotta go look up some red carpets.
Look, damn.
One thing's for sure, in that old Malcolm and Marie, I was like, man, I'm gonna jump in this damn screen and move his ass up out of there.
John, if you don't quit all this crying and hollering.
God, that movie, I was just like, I really don't need to see a black couple hollering at each other a whole movie, but that was just me. Yeah. What's going on, Keezy? Welcome in. Good comment here. Feels like Peter helped her open up more and have a stronger presence. Yeah, he really brought it out of her. And now we get to this goofball.
That picture was so dark for a minute. I was like, who am I looking at? Again, I had to squint. I'm like, damn, that cinematography is a damn mess in Morbius.
Michael Morbius, y'all. Shit. I just got to start out by saying I just think Jared Leto's a goofball as an actor. I'm like,
You know he
Whatever,
was
30 Seconds to Mars, cool, but as an
see,
actor,
that's why you needed Matt Smith's old goofy ass having fun on set to like this lighthearted man because you know damn well Jared Leto was on that set terrorizing those people over MF and Morbius. He was over here, he was in his bed, he was over here doing all his method acting
fucking with
over
people
Morbius.
over Morbius.
What? No.
Just causing trouble on set. Weird acting. It seems like it's just taking it way too seriously. This character is written terribly. I mean, there's nowhere else to go with Michael fucking Morbius.
Look, they tried to hook us in with them abs. They put that in the trailer to try to like, oh look, the shirtless abs. Nah, bitch. We don't care.
Don't care at all. But maybe the little 30 Seconds to Mars girlies like that, but I'm cool.
We liked Jared Leto maybe a decade ago before he really started going off the deep end, acting a damn fool. But no, again, he took this role so serious. Like, put him in F. He's F tier. Like, let's be serious here. That's a joke. Morbius was a damn joke of a character, of a movie, all of it. F.
Just what a weird movie to make in the middle of these Spider-Man movies. Listen, I get the appeal of Venom. I'm like, okay, that's a known Spider-Man character. People know him from Spider-Man 3, 90s Spider-Man stuff. Okay, but this fucking random goofball, like, and then you make Jared Leto him. It just a recipe for
and again, I mean, Jared Leto could have been cool as this like vampire superhero at some point, 30 Seconds to Mars, whatever, but you gotta okay, if you're gonna be serious, then the script writers need to be serious. Like, if we want to make this a legit, cool we need to hire a screenwriter who can do it and a director who can do it. They could not, so we needed to go Matt Smith's route and be fun, and Jared Leto was not down, apparently trying to act like he was coming for an Oscar. What?
I mean, he has one, so
he was trying to redeem himself from Joker, I guess. I don't know. Jared, maybe it's time to step away from the comic book subgenre, sir.
And Joker was a fucking nightmare. That Joker was horrible. I was like, bro, that fucking laugh is terrible, bro. Sounds like somebody trying to, you know what? I'm not gonna say that. Time to Morb. The Morbin time stuff and Time to Morb and all this stuff is better than the movie. Like, if this was in the movie, him being like, oh, Morbin time and stupid shit like that, maybe I would like it more. Maybe
and that's why it didn't work. That's why their little, it became a meme, let's re-release it, didn't work. Because, yeah, it's a meme and funny to make fun of, but the movie's not like that. Like, if the movie had that same energy, maybe we could have got behind it, but shit.
It had it in one scene when Milo's breaking down dancing. All right, Larry, you get Mrs. Chin from Venom.
Look, low-key, Mrs. Chin is kind of the GOAT. She's kind of the MVP of them damn Venom movies.
Listen, Mrs. Chin is dope.
she I liked her little cameo in Across the Spider-Verse. I thought it was cute, like having her be that little thing. She's always funny. She's like a fun character to revisit, and I'm glad they haven't tried to do too much with her, have her out here doing all type of mess, because that seems like what Sony would do. Is suddenly Miss Chen gonna have like a big old action set piece where she punching Carnage upside the head and shit. Like, I wouldn't have been shocked, honestly.
Venom 3, we got one more.
But yeah, she, she's not that big of a character. I like her. I'm gonna put her in B tier. She's good.
Yeah, Mrs. Chin is dope. I like the little Spider-Verse appearance. The symbiote like took her over briefly and had the eyes, but that's the goofiness that's like fun. Like, it's like, okay, that was fun. Mrs. Chin, and she, like you said, she's good to revisit. She's funny. She's just like a no fucking nonsense woman. Yeah. Like, she's just like, and what's funny is like how she doesn't react to silly shit happening. Like, Spot opens it up and she's just like, okay, it's another fucking Tuesday, bruh. Like, Mrs. Chin don't give no shit about no symbiotes, about no Spot. She's like, you gonna pay or not? I love Mrs. Chin. Definitely putting her in B tier.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, we got a great villain here, man. Like, what I love about Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio is like he had the goofy factor that you're looking for in a character like this, because Mysterio in the comics is a goofball. So I love that they make him like that. And what was cool is, okay, this is the MCU, this is not the comics. So in the beginning, I was like, are they going to change Mysterio? Like, he had me a little tricked, y'all, because I was
Yeah.
like, are they going to change him to be like more of like a Doctor Strange character? I remember when the like trailer came out and people were like, oh, is he doing sorcery and stuff? Like, I was wondering if they were going to change it, but to make him that classic, like, I'm using VFX and tricks, and it was great. I mean, this is a great, like, middle of the road for this trilogy type villain. And that scene in the bar where he makes that change is fucking
Ooh.
iconic. When it's just all the stuff's breaking down and he's like, got him. Now get this stupid fucking suit off me. That was a great performance by Jake Gyllenhaal. And he's having a blast. You could just tell he's having so much fun. He's not trying to be Green Goblin or Vulture or any of that. Like, he's just a straight goof. And it works for this middle of the trilogy. I think I gotta. I'm like right between A and B. You know what? Put him in A.
Ooh,
I don't think he's necessarily the iconic level of, Green Goblin and Doc Ock, but I thought he served as a great middle of the road villain for Tom Holland's. And especially like they're on a field trip. Like, it's a very school oriented movie, the first two. So it's like, yeah, like having this goofy, I'm going to take your lunch money type of villain.
Oh, not take the lunch money.
But I would say maybe the issue is kind of like, okay, well, you know what though? I was going to say those robots were a little but he won. I mean, he succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
He uncovered Peter Parker's identity. So out of all these villains, even though he died he won. So
yeah, I agree. I think that's what makes him so interesting, because he is really goofy, but he exposed Peter Parker. He like ruined his life.
Yeah.
So, and he like sets off the entire next film to even happening. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is really charismatic in this film. I think he and Tom Holland have a really good chemistry as well together, and they bounce off of each other really well. He looks good in the role. He's fun. I think he has some of the most inventive action set pieces as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them look a little wonky. Some of that VFX, and some of them action set pieces a little bit wonky. and him just being, I think the worst part about his character is his motivation, just being like a scorned ex-employee of Tony Stark.
It's like Vulture.
It's like, really, and it's not even like as compelling as Vulture's reasoning. So it's his origin that's kind of like, okay, this is goofy and unneeded when it's all these little employees who are all mad. Like, what in the world?
Y'all salty Tony Stark laid y'all off.
But I agree with you. I'm gonna put him in A. I have fun with Jake Gyllenhaal. Anytime Jake Gyllenhaal gets to just kind of unleash some of my favorite performers. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love like Brokeback Mountain when he's much more reserved as well. But I just live for an unleashed Jake Gyllenhaal.
Nightcrawler, baby. I love it. Yes. Like when Jake gets to be that, and that's why I love that. What's that Michael Bay movie he in?
Oh, Ambulance.
That's why I love it, because he just gets to be just unhinged as hell. And they're like, we know we're in a Michael Bay movie. Just be goofy and over the top. And for me, Ambulance worked. I howled at Ambulance. I actually had a ball in that movie.
Okay.
Because it knows what it is. Unlike Morbius.
Yeah.
Like, some great comments here from Keezy. First one, if you told me Spider-Man fighting drones was going to happen, I would have facepalmed, but it actually went so hard and Far From Home. Yeah, when he does that drastic flip over him and does a superhero landing, and it works, man. It's fun. I just thought it was kind of goofy for that character to be like, let me send out my drones, but I guess it is comic booky, which is what he was going for. Now, I love that scene too, where he has like Tom going to that full illusion. That was fantastic. I mean, fucking with Spidey's head, like that was awesome. So love that scene. All right, Larry, we got Ned next.
Little Ned Flanders. No. No, I love Ned. I think he's sweet. He's funny. He's a great side character for Peter, a great support system for Peter. Now that relationship mess and Far From Home, I don't know if I was the biggest fan of all that, but with good old Katie Heron. But other than that, I love Ned. So I think he's definitely like I like him more than Harry in the
Yeah,
OG trilogy
yeah.
as the best friend for sure. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
put Ned also in a solid A tier.
Yeah, he's like the best friend, like out of all of them. And
Yeah.
you know, Ned Leeds is a character in Miles Morales comics, but I liked this decision to put him with this young Peter because we get to see them be like nerd bros, and he's Peter's computer guy. He's like the first one to know he's Spider-Man, and he keeps that secret the whole time. I love in Far From Home that little sequence where they're where both MJ and Peter in the bedroom and he's changing into Spider-Man. He's like, "Oh, it's a costume, the Halloween party." I'm like, he just is like his bro. He's his boy. That is his ride or die.
Yeah.
Ned is amazing, man. I mean, easy, solid A tier.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh Lord, now we got
Ooh.
this old goofball, Carlton Drake Riot. Listen, I like Riz Ahmed, but the acting here was just kind of weird. I was like, are we in a different movie here? It just felt so. It was like, okay, if Mysterio was acted poorly. That's basically how this came off. It was like he's trying too hard to be the mustache twirly, goofy, take over the world type of villain. He's forgettable. That end battle with him and Venom, I cannot see to this day. I mean, I got this still, y'all, and I was like, oh, that's how he looks. Because Jesus, every lighting sequence they have with this character, damn near everyone, horrible. Goopy battling at the end. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Jenny Slate's character pops up for like a couple of seconds, and then y'all remember that first trailer? See, she said Symbio, and the internet went in a frenzy. That is not how it's pronounced. Just goofy. Like, I'm going to F. Dumb character, not memorable. F.
Yeah, I forgot his name, really. I just remember him as the other goop villain from Venom. What a horrible choice. And they did it again. Like, at least Carnage is red. And I will say, I think they did a better job in Let There Be Carnage of helping differentiate in the battle between Carnage and Venom. Because in this first one, it is such a mess. Watching Riot and Venom fight each other in that final battle is just a horrible mess. And I adore Riz Ahmed. I love Riz Ahmed. And this performance just was not it. I don't know what was going on. It's probably my love for him that will keep him at D rather than F, because he is, I mean, just a really poor villain.
It's just like weirdly overacted by Riz Ahmed. I'm like, we don't gotta be like so intense, and so I'm like, we don't gotta do that, bro. Do you know what movie you're in? Like, we just don't have to do that. And I will give Venom 2 credit. It did know what movie it was. It knew we were goofy as fuck, and even though Carnage, we got him in D, they still at least knew like this is some goofy ass 80-minute bullshit.
Yeah.
And I will say, in Venom 2, the scenes between Eddie and Venom where they're arguing, it's funny. Like, it's some fun little banter between the two of them. So
yeah,
it knew what it wanted to be. Symbiosis.
Ooh, what's this?
Oh, people have talked about not knowing Ned not being a good thing, but yeah, Keezy, I agree with you. I think that's a good thing. I mean, it's like, yeah, I think we get enough Ned. He's his best friend. He's his guy in the chair.
Yeah, that's fine. We know who he is as a person, and I think that's all we really need to know. Like, we don't need to spend, because we don't know that much about MJ either. Like, really.
Right.
So, and I don't think we need to know much more about her either, to be honest.
100% agree. All right, here we go. Sandman. So, Sandman, in my opinion, is the best villain out of Spider-Man 3. I mean, it's like, okay,
By
you
far.
have once again another villain that has a sympathetic backstory that it's like, oh, he's definitely the Robin Hood here, Robin from the rich and committing these crimes to take care of his daughter. It's kind of, you feel bad for this character. Like, you have some sympathy for this character. And as soon as we start to develop him and his rivalry with Spider-Man, we get Venom coming in over here and Hobgoblin flying on his little. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it just took away from that villain getting any sort of time to shine. I thought he was decent as Sandman. I mean, I thought he was a pretty good Sandman. So Thomas Hayden Church, I was glad they brought him back. His design in No Way Home, you could tell they was like, we're gonna bring you back for a voiceover, my man, because he ain't even there. So
they literally use the same scenes. Yeah.
I was like, ooh, we archiving and shit, and that was a little weird, but I did like him. I just think he doesn't get enough screen time. We get kind of that sympathetic angle, and then it's just up to goofiness and shit. And then we got to get Topher Grace Venom in here. And see, when you can, even just as a young consumer, see that there's just too much going on, that studio was behind some interference. So while I really like Thomas Hayden Church as the character, I got to go with okay. Just doesn't get enough.
Ooh, I feel like you could tell. This is one of those where Leo's like much more the diehard Spider-Man fan, because I feel like he's tougher on some of this than me. So Sandman, I really like Sandman in Spider-Man 3, and you can definitely tell that was the story that Raimi wanted to tell. That was his before Sony came in and said, we need Venom in this movie. We are forcing you to put Venom in here. It was Sandman because he has such a humanistic, beautiful origin story. His transformation scene in that movie is like top tier Spider-Man scene from that OG trilogy. I think it's so good. And then No Way Home, I almost am like, maybe they shouldn't even brought him back, because his character doesn't make sense. There's no way that man, even in No Way Home, wouldn't say, yes, cure me right now. Like, he would instantly.
Right.
Instead, he leaves and is like fighting against the Spider-Man in the final battle, and it makes no sense. You're like, what? Sir, you literally don't want your power at all. You're not power hungry. You just want to get back to your family. Why are you fighting them? It doesn't make sense. So his character is the one that annoyed me most in No Way Home, just because I thought it was foolish with the writing. But just in Spider-Man 3, I think he's great. I think it's a great origin story for his character. I love the motivation of his character. I actually think the CG, for the most part, is really good in Spider-Man 3 on him. On him. So I'm gonna put him in B tier, because there's no way I can put him on like the same level as Electro. So B tier.
Yeah, and in that third one, the way they changed him, he's just kind of more of like a classic villain, and it's like, well, this was not Sandman. Like, sure. I guess they just kind of did that because it was like, well, we got Doc Ock over here.
Yeah,
but it's like, I feel like him and Doc Ock would be like, we'll fight the others with you.
Yeah,
something. I don't know. I was like, kind of weird, because he helped Peter in the beginning too. So I'm like, a little bit of a weird twist and turn.
It's weird.
But he got in the cage and he was all like, get me out of here. And I was like, what the fuck is going on with this character, man?
Oh, not get me out of here. The damn sand on the couch. I can't. You got fucking Jamie Foxx over here wiping some sand off the couch when he sits down. Okay, sir.
Keezy says, Sandman's origin still sends chills down his spine. It's a good one, man. Yeah, and if they would have just let that play out, man, we would have got a way better Spider-Man 3. And then with 4, you could do Venom or you can do Hobgoblin, whatever. But we had 2 main villains of the first 2 movies, and now we got 2 goofy ass ones and 1 solid one. It just was a recipe for disaster.
Madness.
All right.
All right, wait. This one's behind your head. Oh my god. Oh, what did they do to my girl? Yeah, these Venom movies get these actors that I freaking love, like actors I love, and then just I don't know what they do with them. You got Michelle Williams, you got old Naomi here, you got Riz Ahmed, just a mess. Shriek, what? Why did they put her in this damn movie?
Why?
Like she was annoying as hell. Doesn't do ish. What did she like? Has the bell fall on her head and it is so stupid. I cannot with her. F. So F F
Oh,
F. I can't with this character. She annoyed the hell out of me. I could not believe they did my girl that dirty. It was horrible. Horrible. Ugh.
yeah. I'm not entirely sure what the point of this character was. Even the look sucks. Like, I mean, go full comic book at this point if you're gonna be this goofy. You might as well. But
She's running around
Naomi
here. What is she,
Harris,
Harley Quinn? They're trying to make Naomi like Harley Quinn. Like she's like that's how she's acting, like this deranged mad woman next to
right? And nobody really knows why. I mean, he just breaks out. This is his girl, and they just crazy together. Like that's basically it. Terrible, 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 horrible. Okay, we're gonna come to the Spider-Man last. We'll get to them last.
Okay.
You gotta save the best for last. Do you want to do Venom
Unk.
first or Uncle Ben?
I guess let's get to Unk.
All right. Hold on one sec. My screen kind of froze.
Ooh.
Larry, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. We're back. Sorry.
We back. Okay.
All right, we're gonna go with good old Cliff, the first Uncle Ben. Man, iconic. Iconic. I mean, bringing with great power comes great responsibility into just the masses. It's a repeated quote now,
Yeah.
making it a pop culture staple. Him and the way he was just so responsible with Peter and was just served as somebody that Peter could look up to. And I mean, just a line that a lot of us as adults can relate to. The delivery, the presence. Uncle Ben's phenomenal. And this scene with him and Toby started it all. Started the whole Spider-Man popularity. He is part of making this Spider-Man into a pop culture icon. I know he has limited screen time. I know he's barely on it.
Ooh.
I can't have this list with Uncle Ben anything lower than an S.
Oh, he said S.
Gotta go S tier with Uncle Ben. I know
For
he's
old
barely
man
in the movie,
Benjamin.
but for what he's done and what he has established in these movies, S tier, man. Easily.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in A tier. I think he's great. Obviously, it's a huge. It's always amazing when a character is hardly in a film, but their presence is pretty much felt like throughout. Not only that film, but in this case, like through the whole trilogy of films. It's so good, and yeah, he's great. I think I just maybe thought wish we had a little bit more time with him, but he's great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, good old Sheen here.
Martin
He's also
Sheen.
good. He's not as good. Definitely not as. It's not as an impactful of a performance, I don't think. In the limited screen time, and it kind of, I guess, makes Sally Field shine a little bit more because I think she just does more of the heavy lifting there. He's good. I didn't feel the connection as much. So I'm gonna put him in B tier. I still think he's good. I think he does what needs to be done, but just not. It's hard. It's a hard act to follow, and he's not able to quite do it.
Yeah, and I kind of think he gives like a little bit of like a stern dad type of energy a little, and I'm like, I kind of like Uncle Ben being like that supportive, caring father type figure to Peter, not like the stern like. And like it's not like he's like bitching at him all the time, but it kind of felt that way a little. Like I'm like, I really liked Cliff's performance in it more, kind of more smooth. It just felt like Martin Sheen was like, I'm the man of the house, like, and it just didn't work as much for me. But still an iconic performance, still a great scene with him and Andrew during his death scene.
G. Colby said his ass got himself killed.
Oh, I mean, Messing around.
Woo!
Keezy, this is a great reference here. The first Uncle Ben, people thought that Uncle Ben said in the comics, but no, it's actually a narrator. So I love that. But yeah, Uncle Ben, Martin Sheen. I'm sorry, I gotta go with a B. All right, now we're at Venom. You know what? We'll go Vulture first. We'll go Vulture.
We'll go with the foils of each other as the last two characters.
Yo, when Vulture delivered that line to Tom Holland, that whole scene where he turns his back, turns around in the damn car and looks at Tom and tells him he will kill everybody he loves. I was like, holy freaking shit. Wow. I just was like, okay, this dude is not playing. Okay. And I think starting off the, Stark rejects with this guy is great because it's like, okay, his motivation is great. I mean, they're taking away work from them, and what they did ruined their lives. I mean, the Battle of New York ruined their lives. So I love that there's an actual great motive behind him. Thank God they updated the look, because if y'all seen Vulture in the comics with his bald ass head, I was like, that sure the hell wouldn't work in live action. What the hell is he doing at the end of Morbius, though? So I'm like, what are they doing with him over there? That part, I'm like, okay.
That scene was so unnecessary.
So unnecessary. So stupid. But what I do like about this is that in Homecoming, Peter does get the gadgets taken away from him. And that's why when people are like, oh, Iron Boy Jr., I'm like, he fights him in pajamas. Like, what more do you need? Like, Spider-Man took on this man in pajamas when Tony Stark said, you can't have the gadgets no more. He pajamaed up and went after this man. He lifts the goddamn building off of himself. Iconic panel from Spider-Man comics, by the way, when he has to get the cure to Aunt May. Iconic. Loved this performance by Keaton. Spider-Man movies got some good villains in them. But what the hell is he doing over there with Morbius and them? I am so worried about
Morbius over here talking about a man he don't even know. Talking about Spider-Man and shit. Sir, what do you know about him?
Right, I'm like, okay, I guess suddenly you got a bone to pick with Spider-Man.
Oh.
Goofy. So I'm gonna put him in B, at the top of B. Okay. Just because like that goofiness that they're doing with him with Morbius and all this bullshit. I'm like, here we go.
Lord. Yeah, I love the backstory of Michael Keaton's character. I think this is where it really works well. I think this whole segment and this whole stretch of the MCU where they're trying to like deal with the repercussions, I actually think they handle it pretty well across the board, and it's handled really well to me here. And why it works here in comparison to, just kind of like making that Mysterio's thing is because we actually see it, like we get to spend time. Mysterio, it's a misdirect. Like they don't want us to know his origin, so we don't really understand it much. And here we see like the real world working class people and how they got screwed by that. And then that scene, oh my God, that car scene is so tense and so good. It's so wonderfully acted by Michael Keaton and Tom Holland as they're going to that damn dance. Honestly, I just love when he opens that door and Michael Keaton is the dad. Right? And you're just like, bloop! Okay! And it's another situation where I feel like that's my biggest thing with Homecoming, is I love everything about Spider-Man's thing. And I get it, whatever, but it is like the whole monument business and dealing with the tech stuff. I was like, we honestly could have just cut all this out of Homecoming. Like if we had just kept it to being a high school, like an homage to the 80s, Hughes movies with Vulture being the main villain. Oh, Homecoming could have been like all-timer. It could have been like top tier MCU all-timer. As it is, I still enjoy Homecoming. I just think they take away from it with doing all that extra business and tying it into Iron Man. But I'm gonna put Vulture in A tier. I think he's great.
A-tier Vulture.
All right.
Great point here from Keezy. The entire car scene is directed so well. The light turning green when he puts it together that Peter is Spider-Man. Way too good. Best live action Spider-Man villain behind Goblin.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
I
Okay.
praise. I mean, but hey, he's a great villain, man. Iconic performance. And what was so nice about his villain is he kind of made Tom have to like stop using the gadgets and stop using Iron Man's gadgets and step into like being Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
that was a great turning point for that character.
Oh, and that fight scene is so good. Their
So
like
good.
final battle
So
is amazing.
Really, really good. I mean, the plane, all that. It's just great. Fantastic.
All right, which Venom we starting with?
We'll start with Tom Hardy's.
Okay, so Tom Hardy's, I think is fun. I think it's a really fun character. Look, I don't. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, is like such a weird thing because I like low key love that they made this a weird rom-com. Like, I love that after the first movie, they lean into the fact that it's this weird romantic thing. Like, I don't know, this weird relationship between Venom and Ed. But I think it's just it's the villain that doesn't work and kills that movie. Because I'm like, it still is just so annoying because I don't know. Obviously I love the first one where he's in that goddamn lobster tank. Like, he has some really great moments in these two movies. The Venom, the weird Venom coming out scene at the rave. It's just, I was low key like, what the hell is going on? But I was kind of on board. No, so I think there's a lot of fun to be had. It's just, I don't know, having Venom without Spider-Man is just so weird. Like, having him be the full-on hero is just weird. Like, I don't know. It's strange. So, I think Tom Hardy's great in the role.
Eddie.
I think the design looks good for Venom as well.
I don't like those veins, man. He all veiny and shit. I'm like, can we cool that down?
Stop it with the vein. I just don't know where to put him because it's just all over the place for me. You know what? The performance is good enough, and I think there's enough good. He'd be like the bottom of B for me.
I feel it because like, what's so fun about the Venom movies is that these two, I mean, they make it goofy, and somebody told Tom Hardy what movie he was in, and then they made the second movie around that because it was like the first one, Riz Ahmed's like, I'm gonna get you, blah blah blah, and it's like, dude, you're in the wrong fucking movie with that attitude. But Tom Hardy knows what movie he's in. And I love that Venom's like all jealous of Anne, and like at first he's like, he's all jealous, and I mean, I definitely think the two of them are like an item, you know. But they, of course, dating other people too.
You know, we open over here,
right? Like Venom,
you got him over here licking the screen when
licking. I was like, oh, he want him a new boyfriend.
Oh shit, okay. Venom said, you know what? I'm kind of tired of you right now, Eddie. Let me go grab this little Peter Parker right quick.
So you were speaking about me loving the comics earlier, and that's my core fucking problem with this character. Is that it's not at all Venom. Even
Eddie Brock.
Hector Venom, who in the 90s was a hero or anti-hero, really. This is not Venom at all. This is not Eddie Brock at all. Like, this is a new character, basically. Like, I've watched the Venom movies, and I'm like, it's kind of like a buff Spider-Man ripoff type of, like, because that's what they went with here. And my whole thing about the Venom movies is I'm like, okay, with the whole SSU, and Madam Web's not a part of that, y'all. But they've got the SSU, and they've got Venom, they've got Morbius, they've got Kraven. What are they doing? Like, what are y'all doing? Really? Because I'm like, okay, is he like the hero of this universe? Is he going to band together with them? What the hell are we doing with this character? I got to put him in C just for the fact that he's not at all Venom. And they're like, this is Venom. He doesn't even have the Spider-Man symbol on his chest. He doesn't have the spider symbol on his chest. The big old spider. It's just weird. And like, even Eddie Brock doesn't even like address Peter Parker. this is a man who the symbiote bonded to him because of his hate for Peter Parker, and he just doesn't mention Peter at all. Goofy. But I mean, listen, I appreciate the effort. I see what they're going with here. And if they made all of their movies like this, why the fuck are you making Morbius? It's just like, just make a Venom trilogy. People eat up Venom. And there are people who genuinely really like the Venom movies.
And you know that Craven's going to be serious. From them trailers, they're making it serious.
Yeah, Kesey's right.
Where you gonna put the Eminem song on? What tier does the Eminem jam go to?
Venom. Venom.
Lord.
Okay, for that effort of making it just goofy, I would put that song in like an 8. It's so goofy. So,
oh Lord.
Funny enough, you got like a Venom that looks way worse, but maybe is close to the comics. But it's like Topher Grace. You ain't no damn Eddie Brock.
Oh my God.
Goofy performance by him. Shoehorned in character. A great, iconic villain of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. But I mean, the way he's just forced in this movie, the nails look stupid. The mouth is all weird and overly large. So it's just like the design doesn't look great. Oh, bad. And I know it's like, oh, you got Tom Hardy Venom. Yes, I do, because this is just a forced in, shoehorned in character. It's closer to the comics, but it's super cartoony. It didn't belong in the movie. It completely derails us from the Sandman stuff that was way more intriguing. Bad.
No, I can't stand Topher Grace running around here as a goddamn Eddie Brock. What in the world? And then when they had him, oh God, I hate that cheesy mess when they bring out Topher Grace's face. And that guy
so bad.
It's horrible.
It's just horrendous.
But again, like you said, like, I don't know, they just make him this like jealous prick, and like you said, it's definitely closer to what, the bonding. It just, he looks terrible. The CGI is a mess running around there. Having him fighting him while Sandman is like flourishing below. Like, it's just like, what are we doing with all this? No, I'll go D. It's almost an F. Like, I love close. Venom is so, like, obviously we all think Venom is badass and cool. That's why he's like a fan favorite character from the comics and for me, mostly from like the animated show. I loved Venom because I wasn't as much like Spider-Man comic book, but the 90s animated, I loved Venom.
Yes, he was great.
Here, getting this being our first live action was this Topher Grace like dweeb, like he's what does Dwayne say, geek, like having this geek as Venom. Please,
dork.
Look, I mean, just a D.
Crop Top Critic agrees with this. Topher Grace Venom should be D. Only thing that saves him is that it is somewhat more comic book accurate. Yeah, exactly. That little bit of comic book edge. But how do you go from like the awesome look of the black Spider-Man suit, like the black Spider-Man suit is tight, like I was like, oh, this is fucking cool, and then to this goofiness, like, okay, you mean to tell me Peter Parker rips off the black Spider-Man suit and it just turns to this goofy shit? Like I just was like, all right, we could even if they wanted to say, okay, Venom taking over Eddie Brock looks exactly like Toby did in the black suit, I'm cool with that. That would be kind of some kind of play on it where it's like, oh, it's like an evil Spider-Man looking. That would be cool. But this goofy little alien, sludgy little weird shit they got going on, goofy.
Yeah.
All right, Larry.
Right.
I'll let you start us off. We'll start with you know what? Okay, so
we're going chronological.
Tom, I'll do Andrew. Ooh. So I'll let you start with Toby.
All right, Toby, obviously our OG. Again, kind of like with Kristen, there are some moments here that we've memed because the performance is, he's performing, he is acting. But by and large, obviously, I mean, it's so hard because this was my live action Spider-Man growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this was it. This was him, and I think he's great in the role. Cheesy ass emo dancing and all in that goddamn third movie. Again, I can't blame him for that, doing his little shuffle.
Mhm.
No, but he's
That little dance, man.
listen, but no, he does a great job. I think he does a great job in the physical aspects. He's a really good Peter Parker. He's a believable Peter Parker, even if he looks a little bit old to be playing that high school student.
Sure do.
Hey, but he's an S tier. I mean, there's nowhere I can put Tobey Maguire other than S. He's like the definitive Spider-Man in many people's eyes. So S.
He's the man, bro. I mean, listen, Tobey, he started it all, man. And there are a couple of scenes, but man, does he really hook you in and make you love this character? And he brings this character to life. The only thing really that's missing from his Peter Parker is that like kind of science boy tinkering stuff. We don't really get to see much of that, but he still has it, and he's when he's in college. And I mean, hell, who was that actor? I mean, he was basically Lizard. So, I mean, they never got to that, but he was Lizard. So, but I mean, Tobey's iconic, bro. Brought the suit to life, made us love Spider-Man. And then like his voice as Spider-Man, like how he, makes that change from Peter Parker to Spider-Man, gets more confident, is more goofy and fun. And like that is Spider-Man. That's definitive right there. And so he really brought this character to life completely. And then, he's more of a shell as Peter Parker. And I mean, S tier, iconic, bro.
And I loved him being more of a mentor in No Way Home and having, like knowledge. I liked getting that like adult Spider-Man. Obviously, he's been through the ringer. He's been through it all. He's been
came through in the regular clothes. They're like, who's this pastor, y'all?
Yeah, and I feel like it's probably the most understated of the three in No Way Home, but it was really needed. Like it was a really great balance, and I think that's a testament to all three of them in that film. But I think he kind of gets overlooked a little bit in No Way Home because it's quieter, but he's great.
And he's, like you said, he's like the most experienced. He's giving the wisdom, and he's, even though Andrew has a couple of bites too, it's kind of like he's the middle child, and I love that he really embodies that role well, where he's got the suit on still and he's kind of still going through his whole Spidey, and Tobey's got it all figured out. He's like, I married MJ. It's gonna work out. I made it work. I made the balance stuff work. He knows, and he has that knowledge in the movie, and he's just so good and calm and cool and collected. He's like a dad to Tom Holland Spider-Man. So it works, man. But I'm gonna go Andrew, and listen, y'all done caught me on Twitter a couple times, goofing around, talking about Andrew's this, Andrew ain't the best Spider-Man. He ain't the best. I got to put him in S, though. And the reason why is there are several reasons. So, number one, him and Emma, the chemistry is phenomenal. That performance after Gwen Stacy dies, holy shit, like just phenomenal. And the reaction to Uncle Ben dying, too. His acting is just really, really good. I do think he's a little kind of skateboardy, kind of skater, Peter Parker-ish. And some of the, like him kind of like tracking down those guys that when he was looking for Uncle Ben's killer and kind of like poking at them, I was like, I don't know, this is kind of bully Spider-Man-ish.
Oh, not bully.
But I cannot take it away from Andrew. He was fantastic in No Way Home. He was great in both of the Amazing movies. It's sad that Amazing Spider-Man 2 was pretty bad. Because Spider-Man is fun. He's quippy. And like when he rolls up and has the fireman hat on, I'm like, this is so Spider-Man. And going through those scenes with him where he's like making the web shooters, and it's just such a fun time with this Spider-Man. And I loved that they had him save MJ. Like that, I was like, that was just that moment for him to just finally forgive himself. So y'all heard it here. I totally would take the Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
You know what? When Venom, there's like a meme where it's like the end of Venom and Tom Hardy's like looking over and Andrew is on the other end. I'm like, fuck, I would kill to have that dude. Like if they made him the Spider-Man of these Venomverse movies, great. Listen, all you have to do is make him the main Spider-Man and make him like the villain of their movies.
Ooh.
Because it's like, okay, if from our perspective, like Venom thinks he's the good guy, but he's actually bad. And like, oh, but in this movie, it feels like Spider-Man's like the villain because he's making his life worse and blah, blah, blah. I'm getting carried away.
If they make an Amazing Spider-Man 3, you know it's going to be Venom, it's going to be Craven, and it's going to be Morbius all up in that beach.
Well, I would love if Amazing Spider-Man 3 was him passing on the mantle to live action Miles.
Ooh. Okay.
Like having Miles in it. And of course, you know, Miles ain't, but it's like what they did with Spider-Verse. Like, yeah, like have him be the mentor to Miles.
And what you think about the basketball suit?
Oh my God. I was like, all right, I know his name is Spider-Man, but good grief. We don't got to go with these bug eyes and all that. I was like, nah, that's shit is ugly. I mean, I honestly, if we were doing suits, F. Like, that is a horrible suit. Horrible. Ooh, that might be another good live, y'all.
He said F. Oh,
it's
all right.
ugly as hell. But then the second one, TASM 2, great suit. The eyes are just too big, but great suit. I was like, holy shit, this is straight from the comics. It's great. But that fucking bug-eyed shit, which is like, okay, why did they have to do that? You got the worst suit in the better movie. Go.
That old texture. Oof. Okay, I'm struggling. Oh, God. So I know he had a huge love resurgence. People just like love bombed Andrew Garfield after No Way Home, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Which for good reason. I think he is wonderful. He's really fun in No Way Home. I think obviously that moment with MJ is like a highlight for his character and this beautiful story arc for him. And then of course, just him being funny and awkward around them as the middle child, as you said. And I was his Peter Parker in his original films definitely just suffers from, he's not really a nerd at all. Like,
right.
I don't know. He's kind of out. They try to make him an outcast, but I think you said it right. It's like Skater Boy style outcast. He's like an alt version of Peter Parker. You know, he's too cool for school still.
It's just weird that they said the Amazing Spider-Man is going to be closer to the comics. And I'm like, well, he's not.
So you're like, okay. But in the suit, he's quippy, he's funny. Like you said, I like that bully Spider-Man. He roaming around bullying the folks. Bully classmates and Ish. He started bullying them too, even out of the suit. He started doing dunks and Ish with a basketball and shit.
Dunking on their asses.
I was like, oh, what is going on with this man? See, that's the problem. His Peter Parker is a little bit. It's not my favorite Peter Parker interpretation, but I love his connection with Emma Stone. Obviously, I just love Andrew Garfield. Like you said, what an amazing just acting performance, as you're always going to get from Andrew Garfield, and he kills it. So I will say he's still my least favorite of the live action Spider-Man personally. Sorry. But I'm gonna have to put him in S tier. If you put him in S tier, I have to put him in S tier. Like, I can't do my man Andrew like that.
I just can't, man. Because like when he's in the suit, he is like electric as Spider-Man. Like he's funny, he's got all the jokes, he's very witty in the suit, and I'm like, this is very Spider-Man. He's always got a quip and a witty little line to insert, and I'm like, he does that the best out of the three, in my opinion. Like I think he really knows how to live in that suit and be very, very good, which is like great on No Way Home's part for finding him in the suit because it was like, okay, like he was the best in the suit. And then Toby was the best Peter Parker, arguably. Now, You got time.
All right. Well, Tyler did call it for sure earlier in this little chat. And where I'm putting Tom Holland. um, so if you don't know, a couple of years ago, actually, I did like a. If you don't know, other than just talking movies generally, I like to do a little bit of thirst content over on my channel as well. And I used to do a hotness ranking of actors portraying characters. I did Catwoman, and some people got mad because I put Halle Berry's Catwoman as number one. If you look at Halle Berry's in that cat suit, I don't care what you think about the movie. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think about anything else. If you're telling me Halle Berry don't look good with a capital GOODT in that cat suit,
Good.
you're blind. But I did a Spider-Man one, but I think this was after. It might have been after Far From Home, but I think it might have been before I saw that. I had Tom Holland number 2 on my hotness ranking. That's changed, just FYI.
Did you have Andrew as number 1?
I had Andrew as number 1. I love you, Andrew. Nobody fills out the suit quite like my boy Tom Holland, and the director of these films knows that as well, because they have gotten him to get a little shirtless scene in each and every one of these goddamn movies. Got him in his damn underwear in this last one. They know. But besides that, I also think he's just, for me personally, I don't know if it's bias. I know Toby's always going to be the OG. He's always going to be like, it's hard to supplant that. But when it comes to the best of both worlds, the blend of Peter and Spider-Man, Tom is kind of taking that top spot for me as the portrayal. He's just... One, he feels the most youthful, so he has that on his side. He felt like an actual high schooler when they started the series.
Right? Toby is not in no damn high school.
And, you know, he still looks really youthful. So even up through the last one, he still has that really nice innocence about him and this real youthfulness to him. But man, one thing, if Tom Holland's going to do one thing, he is an expert crier. He going to cry, and he gonna make you feel it like deep in your soul. In each one, when he's like feeling it and beat up in that first film, in the second film, when he's on that plane, like crying. And then
that man know how to cry.
His performance in No Way Home. Y'all can make fun of us. We nominated it for Cinemania because for me, it was one of the best male lead performances of the year. I mean, I thought he was so good in No Way Home. That performance is fantastic. Everything about it's fantastic. He has the physicality for the role. He has the wonderful chemistry with everybody else on screen. So not only is he S tier, he's kind of taken over as my favorite Spider-Man. I know, probably blasphemous to a lot of folks, but it just is what it is.
Listen, man, Spider-Man Twitter is a wild place. So
look, let me not post it anywhere else. They're gonna get my ass. That Spider-Man Twitter become wild.
Is a crazy place. But I'll be honest, I completely agree with everything you've said. He is the best of both worlds. And I love that John Watts was the director to be with him, because he made those movies.
Don't let Dwayne hear that.
Huh? Oh,
don't let Dwayne hear that.
Dwayne, he was a great pairing with Tom, because he made these coming of age movies. He made them like teenage high school movies. And that's what makes them fun. I mean, literally taking shots from Ferris Bueller's Day Off when he's running through the backyard. And Homecoming, that is the best friendly neighborhood Spider-Man we've got. Sure, you know, Andrew, you know, had the kid, and that scene was really good, and that was very Spider-Man like. But to be like running through and be like, hey guys, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up? Like that's very Spider-Man to the core. And if you read the Amazing Spider-Man original run, in those early issues, he is just like a teenager and kind of just suiting up and going and doing stuff. And it's like, yeah, seeing him just run through the neighborhood and be this friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, perfect. Also, y'all got to stop with the Iron Boy Jr. stuff, because the whole concept of this character is in every single movie. When he gets the gadget, he doesn't use it to win. Like that's my whole thing about like the Iron Boy Jr. Oh my God, Iron Man's in it so much. He is his Uncle Ben. in this case. But he does not use his stuff to win the final fights. He always embraces the fact that he's Spider-Man and is the hero that they need. I mean, even to the point of just like saying, I'm not going to become an Avenger. I'm going to be the friendly neighborhood, which I know he went in the Infinity War, but he was in the neighborhood and they needed his help. So he was a temporary Avenger. Fantastic performance by Holland. I mean, I need him to get a better agent because he's a great actor, but he's just in bad shit all the time. And I just hate to see it because he was phenomenal in No Way Home. And yeah, I wasn't side-eye in Cinemania because I would nominate him too. It was fantastic to see him too. Also, with the performance and the way he reacted to the tragedies, losing Aunt May, almost killing, like to go from Homecoming and morph to a Spider-Man that damn near killed Green Goblin. Oof. The acting chops are there. He's the perfect blend. He's the perfect Spider-Man, the perfect Peter Parker. So much so that I'm like, they got to have a live action Miles after this because you just can't top Peter in live action again like this. Yeah. Phenomenal acting. And I love the childlike wonder of Homecoming and Far From Home, and then how we really dial up the seriousness, especially after Aunt May dies in No Way Home. It works so well. And I already knew that's where John Watts coming, but with him confirming that this is kind of like the prequel trilogy to what you know as like adult Peter Parker. Yeah, this perfectly encapsulates that character. Love the movies. I mean, there's not one in this trilogy that I'm like, Amazing Spider-Man 2, well, Spider-Man 3. Whew. But these three, the MCU Spider-Man, all great movies.
Everyone likes the rag on Far From Home, but it clears the worst of those other two trilogies.
When people be like, Far From Home I'm like, Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 are horrible. Horrible in comparison. And there's some redeeming qualities of both movies, but if you lined all them up, I'm like, ooh, I'm watching Far From Home in a heartbeat over those two.
Yeah.
My top of my list, absolute top. The best. He's great. And you know what? What I love about Tom is I feel like he watched the other Spider-Man, like as an actor. I feel like he made this his own, but he also borrows some good elements from the others. So wonderfully done. Absolute wonderful.
Please, Tom and Kevin, stay strong in your battle against Sony as they try to get their hands on that Spider-Man 4. Please stay strong and keep Amy Pascal outside.
Can I just say I love how anti-Sony Tom is? Like he's just like, no. Like stop. Because like y'all remember after Far From Home, they were like, oh, well, we want to take him back. And he's like, no, I will literally fucking walk away. Because he knows how much of a mess Sony is with these Spider-Man characters.
Ooh, look, Crop Top agrees with us. Hey.
Right on, Crop Top. Tom Holland is a GOAT. Yeah, Keezy, W.
Okay.
And what I love about, I know we're missing Uncle Ben in this trilogy, and it is a little bit of like that small blind spot in the trilogy, but Aunt May more than makes up for that. And I love Uncle Ben as a character, but in No Way Home, she uses the actual comic line, with great power, there must also come great responsibility, which is the original line from the comic. And I thought that made her encapsulate both characters very well. But Tom, he's got the best crew, by the way, the best friends. He's got Ned, he's got MJ. Like this trilogy to me saw the mistakes of the other two, other one and duology. And they just cleaned it up. They made us a fun, awesome Spider-Man. Did Homecoming do $1 billion? I know that Far From Home and No Way Home did $1 billion. Did Homecoming?
No, I think it was like 600 something.
Okay, so it was like 600, but then $1 billion. Like, like people love this.
2 billion. Almost.
Yeah, almost 2. Right on the cusp. Right on the cusp of 2. But y'all, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It has been a wonderful stream talking Spider-Man. As y'all can see, I could talk Spider-Man all day long. I love Spider-Man, my favorite hero. Larry with the buckets. Let's go. Once we get closer to Beyond, we'll definitely be doing like an animated Spider-Man, which will be fun. But that'll take a long time because Beyond, who knows when that's coming out.
Mm.
But Larry, thank you so much for joining me, man. This was fun. These character tier rankings and rankings we've been doing have been
Yes.
awesome. Let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up on your channel.
Yeah, you can find me over at Chili Boy Productions here on YouTube, as well as Instagram, and then Chili Boy YT on the Twitters. I'll be watching Madam Web tomorrow, and I plan to review it. So we'll see about that. And then I'm gonna watch One Love on probably Thursday. My my YouTube app is not letting me upload shorts right now for some reason or another. I was planning to probably just do a short on One Love. No offense, Bob Marley, we love you, but we'll see about that as well. So, and then I just kind of got my stuff for a certain final season of TV that I'll be reacting to coming out in March. So I'm super excited to dive into that.
Y'all definitely be sure to follow Larry over on YouTube and all social media platforms over at Chili Boy Productions, y'all. And then coming up here on Geekly Goods Live, we will have our regular show, our Sunday show, Geekly Goods Roundup, talking the latest movie news. We got to talk about Deadpool 3, y'all, and that trailer, and Madam Web will have been out, so we'll be talking about that. But over on the main channel, Geekly Goods, you can find me doing reviews, news videos, and just a little bit of reactions now. We kind of dialed down and we do trailer reactions still, but doing that, shorts, guys, and there's a lot coming up. We've got Avatar around the corner, The Last Airbender on Netflix. Just saw Madam Web. I'll also be seeing the Bob Marley movie and probably doing a short on that. So, guys, there's lots of content around the corner. We just got the Knuckles TV show trailer. Lots around the corner, y'all. So come on over to the main channel or anywhere on social media at Geekly Goods. And then here on Geekly Goods Live, find all our live content. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It was awesome. Great conversation talking all Spider-Man. And y'all, we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.